to Abuse Relief Corps. My name is Anthony Boati Bediako, and I'm the director at Abuse Relief Corps. So, who are we as Abuse Relief Corps? What are the services that we offer? Where can you find us? And how did we come to be the organization that we are? These are the questions that I'm going to be answering today. Abuse Relief Corps, we're an NGO in Ghana, in West Africa, and we provide assistance to victims of sex trafficking and to survivors of sexual abuse. So when we say assistance, we mean that we help with their cases. We pay for medical report costs, we pay for hospital bills, we pay for transport expenses, and we follow through cases to its logical conclusion. So generally, we're helping survivors who otherwise would not have the finances or will not have any support to be able to go through or pursue their cases. So that is who we are as an NGO. Now, where can you find us? In Ghana, our office is located in Tema and then in Kumasi. But that doesn't mean that our services are restricted to only Tema and in Kumasi. In any part of Ghana that you are, once you let us know, we'll be able to arrange with the necessary departments, whether the police or the Department of Social Welfare, and we'll be able to assist you to pursue your case or to deal with any of these forms of abuse that you're currently facing. Now, how did we come to be the organization that we are? We started operations in 2015, and back then when we started, our name was Rela Relief Women and Children Relief Center. So how did we even start? Our founder, Robin Ann, is an American citizen, and back in 2012 he came to Ghana to volunteer, and he was volunteering as a teacher in Ningo Prampram in Tema, which is in Greater Accra. A couple of years after he left, he was contacted by the family of one of his students, who was a lady, that she had been sexually violated. The family was asking for financial assistance to be able to pursue the case. Now that was where our director came to learn firsthand the difficulties that have faced survivors in pursuing their case. Difficulties I mean by paying for medical bills, paying for police medical report, having to provide other resources for their cases to simply progress. So it was something that really concerned him, and he was really touched by the condition of this particular student. And he thought of how he'd be able to help several others like her. So he started by sending funds to be disbursed to pay for the expenses in the case of sexual abuse survivors and their families. Now it went on for a while until eventually our NGO was birthed. And when we were formed, that was when we were going by the name Rela Relief Women and Children Relief Center. Rela. Rela is a street name, R-I-L-L-A. It simply means real. And we're communicating that we're providing real relief. You don't pay any money to access our service. We don't toss you around. You don't have to fill a form. You don't have to go back and come 2 days later. It's still the same. No paying money, no tossing around, no filling forms, no going back and coming later. Only that back then, we're going by the name Rela Relief Women and Children Relief Center. So we used that name for a while, and a couple of years we changed the name to American Relief Centers, and about a year ago we changed our name to Abuse Relief Corps. So that's our progression from Rela Relief, American Relief Centers, and now Abuse Relief Corps. That goes without saying. Wherever you see Rela Relief, American Relief Centers, we're still the same organization, Abuse Relief Corps. So exactly how do we provide services? Our service provision is structured in 3 formats. Now the first form of what we do is helping directly with the cases. So we have our casework team that are working directly with the police, either the Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit, DOVSU, that work on sexual abuse cases, or the Anti-Human Trafficking Unit of the Ghana Police Service that are also working on human trafficking and and sex trafficking cases. So at that level, we're paying for medical report bills, hospital bills, we're providing transport for the police, transport for survivors. We're also following through the cases in court, working with prosecution, getting all the needed witnesses, and any other resource or logistics that is required for cases to progress. We're doing that. So that's the first front of our service provision. Now, the second front is our victim support unit. With our victim support unit, we have our victim support staff that are working with the victims. They're providing a shoulder for victims to lean on. They're providing counseling to victims. They're giving them some education about the various processes and stages that their case is going to go through. And most importantly, they are looking at how victims can be able to continue with their lives in terms of their education or in learning a vocational trade. So we're able to assist victims who have the need to learn a trade or who have difficulties in going to school to be able to continue, and ultimately they can become independent women, independent people, and hopefully they would also be able to get back to society in the near future. Now, the third arm or the third form of our service provision is an outreach program which we call SAFE, that is Sensitization, Awareness, Fundamental Education. So it's a self-defense training program developed at Abuse Relief Corps, and we work with the Ghana Education Service, particularly with the girl child coordinators, to be able to go to junior high school and primary schools to teach them a self-defense training program. Now, the program is not only the physical aspect, but then we also teach some life skills. Now, we also teach physical skills to help girls or boys such that when they are confined in the event of an attack, they would have some basic knowledge of how to evade abusers and not to lead their lives to fate. So as I said, it's only the physical skills. We're also teaching some life skills. We're interacting with them, trying to see the potential abusers in their lives, how they as students will be able to identify perpetrators, report them, seek help, and generally ensure that they will be able to live free and live safe. So these are the three forms of our service provision as our NGO. Now, that being said, we're also able to partner with shelters to help victims who require shelter get a place for temporary accommodation. There's a coalition that we work with that has other professionals, NGOs, and shelters that are able to provide extra assistance that Abuse Relief Corps do not provide. So, specific to the shelters, social welfare will ultimately do the placement, but then we as an NGO will be able to help provide some shelters that we can recommend that social welfare will ultimately decide on to send you. So there you have it. That's who we are as an NGO. As I said early on, our office locations are in Tema and in Kumasi. But in any part of Ghana that you are, just give us a call. We'll be able to send you assistance. We'll be able to arrange to get you the needed help. To visit us in Tema, the office is at the second Ashaiman roundabout at the Timber Market, close to the UMB Bank and opposite the Slate office. In Kumasi, our office is at Jinyasi Estate Junction, close to Kumasi High School and opposite the ECG office at the Estate Junction. Other than that, we're just a phone call away. Now, you can follow us also on Facebook at Advancement for Real Change Abuse Relief Corps. So that's our name on Facebook. Advancement for Real Change Abuse Relief Corps. We're also on Instagram as Abuse Relief Corps. We're also on YouTube as Abuse Relief Corps. You can send us a mail at abusereliefcorps@gmail.com. So we invite you to partner, we invite you to come and volunteer, we invite you to come and support us so that we'll be able to provide the needed help to survivors of sexual abuse and sex trafficking, as well as their families, to go through the difficult period. Now, we want to end this video by saying that we're very grateful to all the people who have worked with us, staff, and all the people we've also worked with in the police, DOFSU, anti-human trafficking, and all the agencies, the partners, and the NGOs. We're also very grateful to all our donors, everyone who has given a penny to support our cause. Particularly, we're also very grateful to Operations Underground Railroad, which is more of our mother organization that is supporting us and helping us bring relief to the people that need it the most. So, thank you very much for watching this video. If you ever know of anyone going through any of these things that we've mentioned, anyone that's been sexually abused, anyone that has been trafficked, please give us a call and let us know. Thank you and stay safe. Bye.